Hello again, welcome back to the last part of section 2. So today we're going to talk about dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter. So by now I hope we know the difference between the two hormones and neurotransmitters. So this is actually made in the brain. It's associated heavily with pleasure, reward, satisfaction and motivation. So it's released in the brain when we basically expect a reward or pleasure. So even anticipation will raise your dopamine levels. Think of things like food, sex, alcohol, or for some people, shopping. I'm trying to think of an example. So think of chocolate fudge cake, everyone's favourite, I suppose. So if you see it, your dopamine levels will raise in anticipation. You eat it and dopamine floods your system. So it reinforces the craving and focuses on satisfying it in the future. So you just want more and more. It also, however, has the opposite effect if you can't have it. So if you can't get your dopamine levels raised, your dopamine levels will drop. We become sad and depressed. This is exactly how cravings and addictions work. So in effect, it's a cycle of reward, reinforcement, pleasure and motivation. By the way, if you guys can control it, please let me know how, because I struggle with it. So dopamine also contributes to alertness, focus, motivation and happiness. So therefore, if we have a flood of it in the system, it can actually lead to temporary feelings of euphoria. So there are lots of things that affect dopamine levels. These include caffeine, alcohol, drugs, stress, obesity, trans fats and lack of sleep. They can all significantly affect your dopamine levels. And what do you think happens when our dopamine is low? How does it affect our brain and body? How does it react? So lack of motivation, depression, anxiety, fatigue and mood swings. So by now you can see how dopamine links in heavily with serotonin, our happy hormone. So the best ways to increase dopamine is to do it naturally. So things like exercise, again, I keep reinforcing exercise. It will go right through this course. Sleep, meditation, music. Some people use music for that, to meditate and relax, and getting enough natural light. Do you remember we talked about our circadian rhythms and kicking off the light into the eyes as soon as you wake up? So other foods will affect dopamine levels. They will increase your dopamine levels as well. So we're back to some of our old favourites, dark chocolate. Just remember with dark chocolate, try and keep it organic and try and keep it over 75% cocoa volume. Just makes it more effective. So dark chocolate, eggs, avocados, beef, dairy, chicken, fish and pork. Dopamine is basically produced from amino acids, and these are best obtained from good quality proteins. So basically that concludes section 2, our glossary and our terminology. I hope you enjoyed that and took a lot from it. So just to recap then, we'll go through the workbook and the assessment sheets, get ready for the next section. So the next section, we start looking at the science of sleep. Why do we actually need sleep? And we break that down. I'll do a little close-out video for section 2 as well, just to recap on what we've done already. But thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the section, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.